So recently I've had this thought and I kind of got stuck on it. Is it ever alright to just give up and quit? Think about it. If you're 40 years old and you spend the past 15 years of your life chasing this goal, this dream, is it ever alright to just throw in the flag and call it quits? Most might argue that time is the most precious thing and you don't want to keep adding to that pile if you never reach that goal. Here's what worked for me so far. Whenever I get stuck on a goal, I go back to the drawing board, I change up my environment, or I find a different angle, but I don't ever believe in just giving up. I think as long as I'm mindful, I continue to plan, and I continue to work towards it, there's no way I won't reach that goal. It's just one of those things that I picked up playing sports through my coaches. Speaking of coaches, today I want to talk about a special baseball coach. Jim isn't your ordinary baseball player. No, he's special. And I think he might just help us answer our question. The guy we're watching isn't our average baseball player. No, this is Jim Morris, or better known as the Rookie. But let's take a look at how Jim actually got here. Growing up, Jim went to school and played baseball. But what really made a difference was how he spent his summers. See, for 3 summers, Jim worked for his grandfather at his store. And spending so much time with his grandfather, it eventually rubbed off on him. He learned a lot of lessons at this point, but one of the things he learned was,
every day pretty much I got a lesson. Jimmy, you're born with your name and you die with your name. What you do with it in between is a legacy you leave behind for everybody else.
Years would pass by, and playing so much baseball, Jim eventually became a really good player. So much so that when he was graduating college, he was able to be a first-round pick of the Brewers in the 1983 draft.
I'm playing a summer league game. After the game, this man came to talk to me. He goes, I'm the coach at Ranger Junior College. I want you to come play baseball for me. I know about your dream. I know about your grandfather. I know about your grades. I'm going to get you classes that you can pass, which was important. Spend time with your grandparents in the hospital every weekend.
All those years of baseball were finally paying off. Sure, he was older, but so was his grandfather, the person that guided him throughout all of his summers. Jim was overwhelmed. First of all, he had trouble throwing his fastball accurately. Then he had to get surgery on his pitching shoulder. And now that his grandfather passed away, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Everybody got to say their goodbyes to my grandfather who lived for everybody else but himself. No grades, no scholarships, nowhere to go. Call my mom. Mom, I made a horrible mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm quitting. I'm coming home. I'm done.
That's when Jim packed his bags and decided to become a teacher in Big Lake, Texas, and later became a baseball coach. That way he could still have baseball in his life. Once Jim finally settled into his coaching position, the sport director at Regan County High School approached Jim and told him that his boys were losers, that if they were ever to be put in a close game, the boys would find a way to lose. They're losers, their parents are losers, these kids wouldn't even graduate high school. They'll spend the rest of their life working in oil fields and gas fields like their dads and their dads' dads. After hearing the sporting director talk about his boys like this, it lit a flame under Jim. So he went up to his team and he told them how important it was to set goals and to have dreams.
You respect this game. As long as you're on my field, you're playing for my team, we're going to do things the right way.
But the back catcher looked Jim dead in his eyes and told him, how can you talk about dreams when you yourself don't chase yours? The team could tell Jim had some kind of talent. So they came up with a bet so ridiculous that Jim couldn't say no. They bet that if they could make it to the district championship, which was never done in the school's history, that Jim had to go out and try out for the major leagues. A couple of months and a few games later, you have this team that goes from winning a game a year for the past 3 years to playing in a district championship game.
I forget about the bet, but in the district championship game, we're down by 3 runs in the last inning, and history would dictate we're not going to come back and win that game. I watched this group of kids that nobody believed in, including themselves, come back, score 4 runs, win. It is one of the best sights I've ever seen in my life. They're hugging each other, they're hugging the trophy, they're hugging their parents. The kid on my team, you see tears in my eyes. And when he sees me, he starts giggling. Big fat coach in driver's seat, crying like a baby. Pats me on the shoulder, walks by, goes, we did our part, now it's your turn. I have to go do this. Every kid on the bus, coach, we did our part, now it's your turn. I made a promise to a group of kids that if they did something nobody thought they could do, I would try to do something I know I can't do.
Now that his own team proved to him that anything is possible, Jim had a new problem. He had to find a place to actually try out. So he reaches out to his dad, and together they find a place for him to try out.
He said, well, son, I don't know you've done your time off, but the first pitch you threw without warming up was 94. Everything after that went up to 98. This thing over here, this baseball dream, has never, ever worked. I've wanted to play since I was 5. It's never worked.
Later that night, as Jim got home, he didn't get one phone call. He got 12 of them. The scouts could not believe it. There was no way this old man could pitch so fast. So 2 days later, they call him back to pitch all over again. And this time, he would be doing it in the rain.
So I'm telling my kids they want me to come back and throw again. My kids go, Coach, you told us if we ever had our dream in front of us, you'd chase it no matter what. 2 days later, I go back and throw again. It rained so hard they had to hand me a brand new baseball every pitch. Sliding up to my knee in mud every time I landed, 98 every pitch. Our big league general manager's there. He goes, you can smile, you're gonna be in Texas tomorrow. And I just looked at him and I was stunned. I was like, what?
Jim here is just an example of what can happen if we just don't give up on our dreams so easily.
My grandfather had this saying. Every day I heard it for 3 years. Remember who you are. It took me until years later to get what he meant. Remember who you are is simple. Don't do anything you wouldn't have anybody see you do. It's not what you do when you know people are watching that makes you who you are. It's what you do when nobody's watching you at all. That makes you who you are. That's character. That's my grandparents. And if you make it just about you, you're never going to go anywhere. It's when you make it about something bigger than you. Be a mentor for somebody. Be a dream maker. Be a team player.
Just called up today, the 35-year-old high school baseball coach.
A high school physics teacher just 4 months ago. He's about to make his major league debut at the age of 35 from Brownwood, Texas.
And I doubt that there's anyone in the country that's not rooting for Jim Morris to be successful.
Jim Morris, who was originally a first-round pick of the Brewers in 1983, after about 10 years as a high school baseball coach, most recently Reagan County out in West Texas, got a tryout with the Devil Rays in June, and here he is pitching in the big leagues in September. A swing and a strike one, his first major league pitch.
95 miles an hour.
Games for AAA Durham, a 3-1 record. High earned run average at 548. He gets ahead of Clayton 0-2.
As I said earlier, I didn't believe it.
I hope his high school kids out in Reagan County are watching.
But what about those kids? They had to hit out this all season long.
Yeah. They made the playoffs last spring. That was a challenge that he presented to them. He went around. It's a strikeout for Jim Morris. Morris, in his major league debut, gets the strikeout. We go to the 9th inning. Rangers lead it 6-1.
Hey guys, I hope you all enjoyed that story. I have a ton of stories that I plan to cover and share with you all. So if you want to see more, be sure to give a like and subscribe. And if you really want to help, you can donate with the link in the description. It really makes a difference as I get the channel off the ground. It's pretty time consuming being the only person working on the effects, sound design, research, and filming. So thank you. I'll see you in the next video.